So we're back to the PowerPoint. So we went all through that aspects there. And so the commercial elements that we are able to add to wwhm 2012 just give people obviously more options when it comes to their modeling, and then allows them to use real world devices that are used in stormwater design, and then make it a part of their wwhm 2012 design. So we feel it's very handy, and companies like to make it easy for the user to use it and design it. And so essentially the companies will come to us with these products and say, here's the specs for it, can you model it and design it, and then our team of developers will replicate what it does in the real world in the model, which is basically kind of the concept behind wwhm 2012, is to best simulate what's going on in the real world with our elements. So first one we're going to go over is the Filtera element here, which is the one on the top left. And now a lot of this information has been pulled from these companies' websites, and so if it sounds almost like a sales pitch, it's just from their website. But I'm just trying to give you a good idea of what each of these elements can do. So the Filtera element is similar to like a bioretention facility in terms of its function, but it can also be optimized for that high volume and flow treatment and some of that pollutant removal. It's very adjustable. There's a lot of different Filtera modules that come in the software that you can play around with that allow you to help filter the water coming through your system. The next one is the storm capture element, and this is just a stormwater detention style facility and a vault that helps mitigate that rainwater runoff to prevent flooding and of course the erosive flows in urban and suburban developments. And so this second paragraph is a little bit sales pitchy, but you get the idea. A groundwater infiltration system for LID and a stormwater treatment system. So that's what Oldcastle does. And then this is the StormTech element. Very similar. It's a like I said, it's primarily used under parking lots actually, and it's used for stormwater storage. There's many different ways you can modify the chambers in the StormTech element, and it can be used with other green infrastructure and things like that, but mostly used as stormwater storage, and a lot of the times underground underneath those large lots and things like that. This is the Brentwood element, and they have a lot of different series and modules that you can use, but it's also another subsurface storage unit, and to help store your water. There's just different sort of features that come with each one of these elements, but a lot of them are for standard stormwater storage. Now this MWS is it's a biofiltration system, and then it's using a horizontal flow, and that I guess that allows for a smaller footprint and a higher treatment capacity of the water, and it can also be used to design for the storage of additional volume control, although mostly I would say we use it for something like biofiltration, but it can also be used for that as well. This is the Maxwell element, and this dry rail receives inflow through a graded opening on the top of a chamber, and then can be directed through piping connections and then into drywall. I haven't used this element a ton, but that's kind of a description of it. The Coltec element, this is the best information I can find. I think in wwhm 2012, in each of these elements, when you import them and add them, there's links to the websites where you can learn more about the elements there. And of course, you could probably just contact the people and they could tell you everything you need to know about these elements. But it's another stormwater chamber style element here. The Coltec CMP, it's a corrugated metal pipe, and can be a go-to material for those detention and infiltration projects. Just another way to do that. Then the urban pond is a concrete underground storage system. And you can modify the modules quite a bit, how many different ones there are, how many rows, and its area. So it's another one of those underground stormwater management ones. So I'm going to do a modeling a little bit here, but if you have any questions about anything, you can leave them in the chat now.